think there's a lot to learn from this situation. I can think off the top of my head of quite a few things we have learned. That we have to take responsibility for our own health and safety. That the measures that the government have taken have been too late. That medicine cannot really save us from everything. And we have also learned that hopefully we can thrive and be productive working from home, working from anywhere, in a 3-day work week. This could bring a lot of really good news if we survive it. I think we're gonna learn that the healing is mental. So I recommend that you look for people like Wim Hof. I've been following his method, which is breathing, cold showers. They were excruciatingly difficult at first. I thought I was gonna die because I was like, I get palpitations a lot just from caffeine and anything. I seem to be just very sensitive to everything. And I thought, there's no way I can do that. And I can do it. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. Cold showers, they just make you feel like you're alive. And that's what he says, is that we need more stress in our bodies because we've gotten used to being clothed all the time. We don't feel the elements. We don't feel nature. I think this is going to bring us closer to our own silence and to our own voices in our head, our own instinct, which is being squashed and shut off by all this city life. And that's why I came to Ibiza, because I felt like I could just feel it. I didn't have a good reason for it, but I could just feel that I needed this sense of being amongst nature in this time, and that I didn't really feel like going with anybody. There was nothing to prove anymore. I don't know why a lot of people have rebelled against the scaremongering, I guess, because yeah, they do exaggerate things just like they do with news in general. We live in a situation where news are being exaggerated so that they're exciting and that we want to hear about deaths and all that stuff. So just like anything, it's sensationalism in the news. But this is a very real thing, so I don't see the point in further trying to expand it. You're just not doing a favor to anybody. People were inviting me to parties up until 2 days ago. I think now that the governments are saying something, they have maybe calmed down a little bit, but the thing is, you shouldn't wait for the government to tell you, because you're just giving more power to the government. You should break this cycle and say, I'm taking responsibility for this. The way to rebel right now, in my opinion, the way if we want to be rebels, is to take full responsibility for your own health and healing, and for everybody around you as far as you can help, you know? Which would mean to be cautious and to take precautions and then to not think about it. That's what I would encourage you to do. I think we have all read enough to know the symptoms and what we can do about it. I think now is the time to forget about it, because I'm so paranoid. I'm already feeling this huge chest pain. I'm such a hypochondriac. We can't keep thinking about it. We have to just relax, change our lifestyle temporarily. When you are limited so much in what you can do, I mean, in Spain, we are on a lockdown. We can't even go for a walk. We can only go to the supermarket. I know, on one hand, it's not logical that I can't go by myself to the beach, but on the other hand, I get it, because people just don't follow it unless you make it illegal. So it was necessary for the idiots around me to do these, put in practice these measures. So fine, I get it. So by being confined, you just realize what's important. You realize the kind of things that you actually really want to do when you can't do them. When you can be online all day watching movies on Netflix, you realize that all you want to do is be in nature, for example, or be with people. We're not allowed to be in groups right now. Again, for the idiots around us. A lot to think about. And medicine-wise, I have been thinking a lot. I have listened to a lot of podcasts about vaccines, there's a lot of really negative information going on. And the thing is, I do agree that we are too fragile. Our bodies can't cope. And our medicine, it's never going to be advanced enough for everything that can come at us. We have to forget this branch of strictly physical physics, because you know what, physics are not actually completely physical in terms of this that we see, that we're solid. We're not actually solid. That in itself has been proved by physics. So if that has been proved by science, why do we keep messing with the body from a perspective of we are solid? When you take a CT scan where they measure your magnetism, what you are seeing is frequency and vibration. That's literally what you see in those scans. When you see shapes and stuff, you're seeing vibration. So instead of taking stuff out that isn't working or killing stuff, you should simply learn to correct that vibration, because all it is a frequency that you need to change. Like cancer, it's a vibration. Doctors can see it. They just have no idea how to correct that vibration. So they see the wrong vibration in one place and they say, oh, we're going to actually physically extirp that chunk of flesh out of the person. That's such a brutal thing to do. And I think in the future, if we survive, we will realize, and that will be as far-fetched as we now think of surgeries without anesthesia and things like that. Because it's truly, I just find it kind of dumb to have the means to see how your frequency is doing and then refuse to work with that frequency and do it in a way that's a lot more prehistoric. What's the point? So I think that's one of the things that we're going to see in our future. We're going to realize that this method of medicine, I think the vaccines, sure, there will be a vaccine in a year. Are we going to keep fabricating toxic vaccines where half of the time you don't even know what they're putting in there? There's all kinds of problems with them. We should just take this opportunity to go further and realize what we are and try to work with it. I've been doing a lot of Kundalini breathing. That has really helped me. Actually, I never used to have the headspace for meditation or, audio meditations. And right now, I feel like, maybe because I'm here, but I feel like I have the peace to just go with it and follow a program of 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'm just spending a lot of time on the floor, kind of like stretching. I'm not even eating so much. Don't worry, I'm not losing weight, but I just don't feel that comfort in food. It's crazy because I used to feel, I have huge food issues, obsession. I eat like a panda bear usually, and now I'm just like, I'm thinking differently. I think this is changing my perception of things. And I think that's the right thing to do. And that's a good thing that we can all learn as a team, as a group. And I think also as a group, it can unite us against these corporate forces that are made up. And governments like Boris Johnson, they're trying to save the economy by basically wiping out a bunch of the population and not letting people access their insurance because they're not forcing anything to close. So you can't really use your insurance because you have to be closed, because technically you don't have to close, but at the same time the World Health Organization is telling us, come on, social distancing. We are very powerful against them, against all of this. I heard a really good interview on, I think it was Russell Brand's, no, Joe Rogan interview. I'm going to put it down here. That one was kind of medical, but then I listened to another one more about the government. I'll try to put the links down below of stuff I have been listening to that has been really interesting, and I encourage you to think for yourselves though. So don't be negative, because it's all about perspective, and it's all mental. It's about how you feel inside. And if you really want to get a bit woo-woo, which I do, I was talking to my healer about it, and she's like, you can't connect to it. Don't connect to the fear, and don't connect to viruses, or it's mental. Don't believe that it can happen, because they are on a certain frequency. It's low energy, basically. Well, there's two things. There's frequency and then there's vibration. I need to figure out I need to ask about the difference exactly between the two. But I think it's frequency, possibly. Low energies and low frequencies, that's where virus, ghosts, all this funny but not nice paranormal stuff, all of that stuff is all in low energy field. So if you have a high energy field, high vibration frequency, I mix these concepts up, but basically if you don't connect to it, you can't get it. It's just really hard not to connect to it, especially when panic is around you. But forget it, forget fear. Fear is also within that low vibration thing. Fear and panic, it's all in your head, and that's the way to get through this. Just realize what you really are inside. You are not this physical body, prey of whatever's in the air. Whatever's in the air can't actually get to you if your mind is not in that frequency. So that's the way to feel safe. And just listen to the wind, listen to the birds. Go on a meditation journey. Keep safe. Talk to you later.